Right, for number 3 on our atoms and molecules review, it's asking us to use mathematical thinking. I know, science and math, but you can do it. To describe the quantity, that just means the number for the total of atoms in a molecule. So what does this mean? It means I can figure out how many elements and atoms are in different molecules. I can also explain similarities, what is the same and what is different. So it's going to ask you on the test to take it to the atomic level. So this doesn't mean, right, describe like one's a solid, one's a gas, like that's what they look like. So when you're taking it to the atomic level, how many atoms does it have? How many of atoms is it made up of? So, right, atomic, atom, you can hear that word in there. So if it's asking you the atomic level, that word atom, how many atoms are in there? What is it made up of? So you are going to use Na2CO3, which is sodium carbonate, and CO2, which is carbon dioxide, to demonstrate this. So what you need to do is you're going to figure out how many elements and atoms are in each of these molecules. And then you're going to explain what is similar and what is different about what they're made up of. So how many atoms, how many and elements are each of these made up of? What is the same? What is different? So when you are ready, go ahead and let's see what a 4, 3, 2, and 1 look like. So first, let's actually know what our answers are. So Na2, so I can see Na has one element, has a C and an O. So it has 3 elements, and it has 2 of these, 1 of these, and 3 of these. So it is made up of 6 atoms. And then if I come to carbon dioxide, it has a C and an O that are capitalized. So those are each of its separate elements. So it has 2 elements that it is made up of. And the C has a 1 and a 2 here. So we have 3 total atoms. So we need to use correct information. So a 1 would probably have wrong information. So maybe something like sodium carbonate has 4 elements and 5 atoms in each molecule. Carbon dioxide has 5, sorry, my lights turned off and I got very distracted. Carbon dioxide has 2 elements and 2 atoms in each one. So they forgot to count like these little ones right here. They forgot their invisible ones. So don't make that mistake, okay? So they forgot those there. And it looks like on this one, on the elements, they counted this lowercase a as an element there. So that A is actually connected to the N, right? So an A is 1, C is 1, O is 1. Every capital is an element. So 1 has incorrect information. Okay, so let's check out 2. Sodium carbonate has 3 elements and 5 atoms. So 3 and 5, so that's closer. Carbon dioxide has 2 elements and 2 atoms, and they both have oxygen. So on this one, a 1 forgot to compare them at all. Oh, and so this one, they both have oxygen, which is true. So this one is still, they forgot to count these invisible ones here. And so they were both missing an atom. So don't forget, if it helps you, write that 1 and say this has 1, this has 1. So a 2 is almost correct, but maybe made 1 or 2 simple mistakes. So the 1 kind of had everything wrong. The 2 had most of it correct. So let's check out a 3. Sodium carbonate has 3 elements and 6 atoms, is what we said. Carbon dioxide has 2 elements and 3 atoms in each molecule. So they have all of their atoms and elements correct. Now they need to compare them. They both have carbon, which is true. They both have C. They both have oxygen, which is true, but different amounts, right? This one has 3 atoms, this one has 2. So this is all true. They got all their numbers correct, gave a couple examples about how they are similar. So let's look at how we can really elevate our answer here. So sodium carbonate has 3 elements and 6 atoms in each molecule. Carbon dioxide has 2 elements and 3 atoms in each molecule. So far it's exactly the same. Both molecules have carbon and oxygen, which is true. Sodium carbonate has 1 more oxygen atom. So it didn't just say they both have it, it said exactly how much more this one has than this one. It also has 2 sodium atoms, and carbon dioxide doesn't have any sodium. So in a 3, it never mentioned the sodium, and a 4, it talked about every single piece. What is the same, what is different for every single part of the chemical formula here. So go ahead and decide which one are you closest to, 4, 3, 2, 1 for your grade. What was the reason you gave yourself that grade? And then what are you going to do on the test to make sure you do your best? What is your goal? Do you need to make sure you answer all parts of the question? Do you need to make sure you count correctly? Don't forget those invisible ones. Or do you need to make sure that you explain piece by piece, compare each part of the formula to share those similarities and differences? So what are you going to do your best on that part of the test?